you'll see here, and this is expected. After Effects, this project must be converted from the version that it is to will be updated. It says definition, pixel aspect ratios will be updated for compatibility and improved accuracy. The original file will be unchanged. Go ahead and click OK for this. This is letting me know that one file is missing. I know what file that is, so we won't worry about it. Right now, I'll end up showing you later. And when you go through and the program updates the project, you've got a lot here that I'm going to show you. First thing is, notice that the program itself should save its own updated. I'm going to hide this so it can take a look here. Its own updated project in your project files folder. If it does not, then we're going to save right now, because it may have created it, but it may not have saved it. So I'm going to hit File, like the first thing I'm doing here, File, Save, and I'm just going to go looking. Okay, so good. It's giving me, this popped up to give me where I wanted to save. So you can leave it the same name. The program automatically gave us a converted. It added converted to the name. It's still in the projects file. Let's see, After Effects project. This looks like it's in the proper place where I want it, because it's in the project files folder. So you can hit save. And there. The converted one is the one that we're going to open from here on out. So you'll have two. You'll have the original. You can ignore the original from here on out, because the program created a converted version, since the original is from an earlier version of After Effects. So we will always use the one that says converted. You guys see that? Everybody with me? Alright, if it gives you these pop-ups, you can close them, because I'm going to show you what we need from these. Alright, so the first thing you'll see in After Effects is that these windows are different from what you're used to seeing in Premiere. This window over here, this little small one, we won't need this window. So what I'm going to do, and I want you guys to do the same thing, is go ahead and delete these little panel, well, they're not in the way now. Normally, stuff that I don't need, I just delete, because I don't like looking at stuff. It just takes up my screen space. We'll leave it for now, since our main panel is so big. But at some point, if we feel like we need this space, this real estate, we're gonna delete it. Just know that this stuff over here are extra panels that we don't need for now. We're working with a template. So over here on the left side, you'll see some things that should look familiar. This project panel, it's the same as, well, you should be familiar from using the project panel in Premiere Pro. You'll see that. Next to that, you'll see this effects controls here. That should be familiar. I'm hitting this little double arrow button here. Looks like I only have two. I only got room for two. That's what you have. So just make that project effects controls. In the main window here, this shows us what our composition is. When we are looking at this window, we're looking at the visual representation of the final composition. In this case, they have already created the title of it, which is 01 main comp for main composition here. And so that's all we need to see for now. About the main comp, just like with the timeline and your destination panel in Premiere Pro, this is your timeline. I'll get into this stuff over here in a minute. But when you grab this arrow, the blue arrow, and you scroll it, this shows you
That's so cool.
what you're seeing on the main timeline. And so when we kind of scroll through this, we see that at the beginning, this opens up all white. And then we scroll slowly, we'll see that the first thing that pops up is like a panel with the first text. You see that this has already been built. It has like this little slightly reflective surface here. But what you see overall is just a nice graphic, which is like a presentation graphic for photo or video and text, all within a panel presentation. So that's the first one. You see that if we scroll through, it will transition to the second one, and then transition to the third, and so forth. Now, we play through this the same way that we would play through with Premiere, in that if you hit the space bar, you'll see that it plays through that, and you see in this playing through, we actually hear the sound effect that goes with it. Now, about playing through, when we hit the space bar to hit play, it will not simply play everything on this timeline if there's a lot there. Because the main difference between After Effects and Premiere is that everything that you put on this timeline, you see all at the same time if it pops up. Because this is built to composite images. So think about with Premiere, when we placed sound all together on that timeline, if you had track 1, track 2, track 3, and no matter how much sound you played, the system would play all that sound at the same time. If the playhead was on that point, it played everything. It didn't play just the top track or the bottom track. It played everything. That's what this is doing for video. And so here, you can have all of these tracks. So that's what we're looking at right now. This has 46 different layers of video tracks, and they're not all playing at the same time because you have different layers that are coming in at different times. But you've got several layers here playing all at the same time. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got these down here, 8, 9, 10, 11. So all these are playing at the same time. And because video takes a whole lot more information, then it has to render that for real-time play. And so when you hit play and you have a green line here, that's the system letting you know that, okay, it's rendered and it will play at real time. However, if I take this and move it to, say, a blue part and hit play, it's going to, okay, looks like it's referencing previous render files. It's green, green, green. Okay, and then it started over there. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna hit wanna take this to a part. There. Where I hit play and it should take time to try to render it as it plays. Yeah. Now, we have some pretty fast computers, so depending on how much it has to render, it'll give us the speed. I'm gonna go up here to File. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go up here to File. And I'm looking for this, the preview. Play current preview. This is the same thing. That's the same thing as the space bar, and it just looks like it's taking its time here trying to play this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you see how slow this red bar is, this rendering, it's slowly giving me a green there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
because it's gonna try to render everything before it actually plays it out. So the reason why I point that out is to point out to you that if you were to try to play this without rendering it first, it's not gonna play. You have to render and have this green line there. That's if you were to try to play it. Now, depending on your settings, remember from Premiere Pro that you have these little small windows here that where you can change certain things about it. So, for example, here, this is, we click that and we go and we select fit. In parentheses, the system is telling us here, I don't know if you guys can see it from as far away, but this is giving you the percentage of the material being shown in the window. Right now it's larger, 121%. I can go in and I can change that to say something small, like say 25%. And this is showing we've got way more space. We don't have to view it this small. If I hit play right now, it'll play everything but really small. So we don't need the 25%. I'm gonna go to show you 50%. I'll show you 100%. That's the actual frame size. Or in this case, we can go back to fit and it'll just fill up this window with whatever we change it to. So I can make this window smaller, and you see that automatically over here, that percentage is changed now to 87% of the size. We're showing the entire frame, but it's 87% of the size. So I usually keep mine as big as I can get right now. Looks like it's not gonna go any bigger than 121%. So, there you go. This next one over here is your resolution. Right now it's set to auto, and it's good to have it in auto. But if you want to be able to play everything easily on the timeline, so you can kind of preview it and see what it is, you can change your resolution. I'm gonna change it all the way down to a quarter. Notice that the resolution definitely got worse. Now we can see some lines here. But if you were to try to play it at a quarter resolution, you should have a better chance at being able to render this live so that it can actually play. So you see here, I'm hitting play and it's rendering, but see where this green line is? It's having an easier time rendering everything that it needs to render, all these different layers. So far I have not caught up yet. This is the end. And so I was able to play through the entire piece just then.
Okay.
So if you ever want to be able to just play through, or you're just having trouble with your resolution, you can change your resolution here. I'm gonna go back to auto. Right now, the auto is giving me a full resolution here. And So I'll live with that for now, but if I ever have any issues, I can just go in and change it. What I'm doing is just taking a look at all of these other smaller windows here, icons, just to see if I need to let you know about anything here. And so no. Let's see here. Yep, nope. For right now, because of how we are working with After Effects, we don't need to go through and change any of these right now. What we're concerned with is the actual template and changing that, adding to it or changing the text in order for us to do with it what we need to do with it. Like I told you, for right now, you can ignore these. I usually get rid of them, but they're not in the way, they're just there, so we can ignore these over here for now. And instead we need to process what we're looking at. So we know what this window's giving us. It's the visual representation of what we're gonna see. We know in the timeline that we've got a ton of different layers here. Now these are the layers that were created when the person who created this template was created. Like they used After Effects to place the different things on this timeline, and so that's what you see here, that representation. For us, we will not need to interact with anything on the actual timeline. So keep that stuff in mind. Here at the beginning stages, we don't have to work with anything that's built on the actual timeline in terms of changing things. Where we work is over here in the project panel. And the project panel is what is where we make our changes. So you see here, when we look at all these different photos in the project panel, you'll see that the very first one is the main composition. That's our composition here, that's open. Main composition here. So you'll see whatever's open down here in the timeline, it'll give us that. The next folder over here in the project panel it says to edit your text here. So it's giving us the direct instruction here for where we want to edit our text when it's time for us to edit our text. And so it's giving us this folder here. If you click this little arrow down and open that up, you'll see that you can edit the first text, which is here, first text here. We can edit the second text where we wanted to, that's the second text here. Third text, so on and so forth. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do it, but right now I'm just showing you where everything is. So when we want to edit our text, we do it here. We don't do it down here. We want to edit our media, we do it here. So you got first media, second media, third media, fourth media, fifth media. This project has 5 places where we can place our media. Our media is either photos or videos. It's been built for that. So when we want to edit our media, we do it here. See here it says edit your logo here, and you insert the logo. I'll double check, since I forget from last semester, if we have the logo that we can put there, if we can put our own logo, but I'll double check that. But if we wanted to edit it, change it, do something, this is where we would do it. In our audio, if we wanted to edit or change our audio here, we would do that here. And then we can ignore, it says ready to render the compositions, we can ignore those, we can ignore those. We do have a folder for images. And so there's a ping of a logo there, so we do have a logo that we can go and edit that when we want, but we can put images in this folder if we want. We've got a folder for solids, we can leave all these solids alone. Sound effects, we can leave that alone. Sounds, we can leave those alone. All these whooshes, we can leave those alone. So for us, this has been built as a template for when we need to insert, we want something that's clean, that we can create, sort of a presentation that has 5 different things that we can put into it. So, this is a very, 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 very basic presentation. What I'm gonna do, did I show you guys my intro to my YouTube page? Raise your hand if I did that in this class. All right,
I don't know. I don't think so.
let me just pull it up.
I know you showed us the music video.
Let me just pull it up. My computer is slow. I'm gonna go to my page. I'm gonna see if I can't find my, let's see here, go to playlists. Go to, let's view this one. Alright, so the first one here. Alright, so this is an intro, it's 30 seconds long, that I used a template to create. So I think I should show this and then you'll see. An intro to a series that I did on YouTube there. And so there's a heck of a lot going on. I didn't go in and create all of those effects and throw all that stuff in motion. All I did was I went out and found a template that I thought was cool, and then I just threw it. It was a template that was already pre-made, and it was set up for me to then add all the text that I wanted where I wanted, add these photos wherever I want it, and all this stuff. And so that you come out with a dynamic intro to whatever it is that I wanted to use at the time, this was the introduction to a show. So that's what we're learning with After Effects, how to grab a template for whatever it is that we want, and then we just put in what our elements are as video production. You guys follow me?
Yeah.
Alright. So the more complex the template, the more you can do. This one is a very simple template, where here all it is a presentation of 5 videos or 5 photos where we insert text. Alright, so I think the best thing to do is to start with your text first, because the text is easiest to change. Alright, so you notice here that if we wanted to change these, I want everybody to do this with me, and then again, if you need to record, that's fine. But when we want to go, yeah.
My desktop wasn't working, so.
Say again?
I said my desktop wasn't quite working. I don't wanna interrupt the class, but afterwards, can you come help me fix it?
Is this a desktop? We can do that quick. What's going on?
I mean,
Because
we
I want
unplugged it,
everybody
we tried
else-
turning it off, turning it back on. It's just not. It went black. That's it.
It went black.
We tried to plug it and everything. I didn't wanna interrupt class.
So did you do this?
Yeah.
You restarted? So what happened when you restarted?
And then we didn't respond.
So it's not plugged in.
Yeah, we thought that too.
Which one, this one?
No, the other
This
one.
one? So you're not getting anything.
Well, it's like they give all of it. I opened it, I downloaded all my footage, everything was
You
fine.
did.
And then it just, I
It's
turned
like
it on and it was
1,000
flash, and I was like,
views, you
oh,
have one
okay,
less.
alright.
The one just
So, no one sitting here, right, or there, I'm gonna ask you, I know you guys are
Because
busy.
everything on the back, they don't trust me.
You should
So big as a can.
You should switch, cause you, I mean, if you can't do it, then I'm not sure you're gonna learn it.
And you have the gimbal off recording, we're good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's your call. Yeah, I see, nice, on the gimbal.
Yep.
Okay, so you're recording, I'm just gonna keep going, if you have a question, let me know. Alright, so we know that this is what has been done right now. Right now, there's no photo or video here, there's nothing in this panel, and all we have is the first text here, the actual text. So to show you how to simply change it, let's go to our edit your text here. That's what this is telling us. We'll go to the first text. I'm gonna double click it. I double click that.
Okay.
So when I double click that, bless you, yeah. Yeah, no. Allergies coming big time.
Yep.
You'll see that when I double clicked it, down here, next to our main composition tab, which is here, now we've got a first text tab.
Hmm.
And then you've got here, right underneath it, you can select the first text. So when we select that, then you can, now with it selected, you can go over and select the text field. Uh-oh, yeah. You got a question?
I don't have that view. Mine looks like this.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead and go on the timeline, just click your,
Yeah, click onto the actual timeline.
Onto here.
It should,
Hang on.
what?
So wait. Alright, so
Okay, so that,
here,
so weird. Can I just,
there,
can I just type something now?
and then, alright,
Oh,
so.
it was on
Yeah, let me
000.
take-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
let me point that out for everybody.
Was it on Zoom?
No, it was all the way
Let me point this
at the
out.
beginning.
Yeah, I don't wanna skip this. Alright, we are actually editing the text, and the text is in the position that your playhead is on your timeline.
Right.
So, if this position is not on the timeline here, you can see here, this is we can see this is likely our first text area, or we can't see it up here, first text. If I were to move this playhead down here to, say, third text, and then I go here to first text, I've already selected it now.
You'll get the screen I had.
Yeah, you will not be able to actually identify
That sucks.
that text area. This is already selected, and I'm actually trying to figure out why I can still see it here.
So when you select it, it's
It
like
may be
automatically on the timeline, correct, unless you have to move it over.
Right, you may have to move the timeline area, and I'm actually surprised that I can still see it.
Yeah, because as soon as I clicked on it, I think the arrow just like moved maybe, where it's supposed to be.
Hang on.
There we go. Oh, so the arrow is,
Yeah, so I don't wanna confuse you. What I'm gonna say is make sure that when you are selecting the text that you want to edit, that here on the timeline of the main composition, that you go to that area so that you can see it on you can see that you're on the first text.
okay, that's better. Okay, thank you.
Alright, so back to double clicking, this is my first text.
So the arrow should be right on where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
The arrow should be where you can see first text.
Okay.
Alright, if you are here where you can see third text, then you're not
It's not.
where you need to be. The arrow needs to be where you intend to actually change. Alright, so we're on first text. We're on first text here. We select it. then you go here and you can select the text area and you can type in anything you want. I'll type in my name. Click away from it. And now when I go back to the main composition, it'll change on the main composition whatever you change the first text to. So now
Oh,
I
there we
have
go.
first text.
Yay! Okay.
And so you've changed that, you've now made whatever the appropriate change is. Now you can do more than just change the actual text. You can go in and you can change the different things about the text. If you hit this little mini arrow on the actual, why is it escaping me?
The arrow. It's just
Hang on.
text.
The, why am I drawing a blank?
Timeline,
It's on the timeline, but it's the,
main,
I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Well, you see it, you guys see what I'm talking about. When you click that little arrow, you'll see that underneath it, it'll give you your text and the ability to transform any parts of it. You can open these up if you want. You can play around with what these different options are. So here, what I'm specifically looking for are, let's see. Okay, I see it over here, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and keep this over here. Alright, so when you select this over here, I'm gonna leave the text alone for a minute. I'm gonna go, in terms of these anchor points, position, scale, all of that, I'm gonna leave all that alone, I'll show you in a minute. First thing I wanna show you is when you have that selected, you can come over to your text tab, and you can change your font. And so let's say I did that.
Oh dear.
So your text tab is over on your right, you'll see it,
God, that's so cool.
this is your text. And then if you go back to your main composition, you'll see that it changed the font there.
How do you change the color? Like, I guess you can.
You can do all that over here in the text tab. I'm
Oh,
just gonna
that's
show
so
you those.
cool.
So
Okay.
you'll see here underneath it, you can change the size of your text.
Speech, please.
Right now, it's at 98 pixels.
Mhm.
I'll make mine a little bit bigger. I'll make mine say 130, 140. You can go back and see what that looks like. It made it that big. So you make all your changes to the actual the tab that's been opened up. Here, let's see. It was asked about color. You
Yeah.
see here the fill.
Mm-hmm.
The fill is the color.
Mm-hmm.
Right now the fill is black. We want to change that to red. Changed it to red there.
Oh, wow, okay.
Changes it to red there.
Cool.
And so when it comes to your color aspects, you've got the fill, you've got the stroke. You can experiment with what all those are. Looks like there's more.
There's so much more. Oh. Oh, you can paragraph, you can make it just. What is
Underneath,
stroke
you can
for?
change these other things. So you can experiment
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say.
just changing those different things. Now,
No, he said more.
if we wanted to, which we don't want to, I don't want you guys to do this right now. If we wanted to, we could add keyframes, and within the actual movement, we could make the text go larger or smaller, or we can rotate it. The things that we learned in editing with adding keyframes from Premiere, we could do that here, but I'm not gonna suggest that you guys do that.
No.
Um,
no, you said no.
I'm only gonna suggest for now, just keeping it very basic, is that when you go to change your text, in terms of being creative, you can change it up in those ways. You can change the font, you can change the color.
Interesting. Okay.
And size,
Yes.
yeah. And I'd say keep it to that. Now, if you want to dive in, absolutely, you can dive in. But I'm not gonna make that like a requirement. Alright, so far, we've just changed the first text area here. If we wanna change the second text area, we need to go to it so that it's first, we can see it on the main composition. And now you'll see I'm going to the second text here. Double click it. When I do that, I can see it. Second text here. I'm selecting it. And then I'm using my cursor to highlight it. And then here I'll put my middle name. Right, just because.
Just because, I'll just put my, okay.
Click away from it, don't hit enter. Instead, once you do it, you always click away from it anywhere,
Okay.
and then go back and check your main composition, and there you go.
Hey,
See that?
hey. Cool.
And then you can do the same thing.
For 30. Or, oh no, wait.
You can select your text, and instead it's over here. You look for your text tab, and you can change that to a different font. I'm gonna change this one to copper
Okay.
plate.
Okay.
And see what, always go to the original comp to see what it looks like. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. I'll make this 140 also.
Cool, okay.
That's probably gonna be too big. Actually, this is good to show you. So notice I made this copper plate font 140. Oh, it's not too big. Alright, but what if we did make it too big?
We can fix it.
That's what I wanna show you. So let's say I made this 250,
No.
alright? When we go to, always, even though it's left the screen is too big for the screen here, when we go to the main comp, we see this is what it looks like. So if we go to the main composition and you see now that it's too large for the space that has been created by the designer, then you need to go ahead and make that adjustment so that you don't leave it here, because you've done something that was not intended for this composition to accommodate. So in other words, you just make it smaller until it fits. So here, 250 is obviously too big. I'm gonna drag it down, just taking and drag it. I'll maybe take it to say 150, see if that fits, probably will. But everything that you do, you check back on the main composition. And let's say I want to make this one some different color. Go back to it, go to my fill, bring this up to, let's say, this lime green, and drag this over. I'm dragging it from the black corner all the way over here to the lime green corner. Okay. Go back to my main comp, and that's what that looks like.
Cool.
So when we change the text for all of them, that's all we're doing. Notice, we did all that without working at all down here with the actual, what's on the timeline. You can leave this stuff alone, we're not working with that. This is the composition, this is the work of the person who made the template.
So I have a question. You said it has to fit. So if it's one word, it just can't be really huge.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I think everybody's up with me. Now notice, I can go in, let's say I do third text, fourth text, fifth text. Notice that same thing happened here. When I went to third text and I first double clicked, let's see, I'm clicking on it here. Like, I don't see the text area. That's what we were talking about before. I don't see this text area right now because on my main composition, I have not proceeded to that third text area. If I do that and then I click on it now I see it popped up for me. So just keep that in mind. But what I was gonna show you is that with the third text, fourth text, fifth text, I have all these opened up. Now I've got several tabs open on the main timeline area here. I've got all these tabs open. I've already done work on the first tab, first text, second text, these two tabs. If I keep going, this is gonna fill up and I'm gonna have a ton of tabs down here. So you can always close these down. There's a little, when I hover over it, you see this little X, I can close that, I can close that, I can close that. And I can just close these and go back to the main comp. Never close the main composition because you're gonna always refer back to it. So always keep the main composition tab open. But I just wanna show you that the way that I like to work whenever you're being clean and organized, you don't want like 10, 15 tabs down here on your main composition.
Okay.
You know, you wanna keep it as clean as possible. So having a few because you're working on them, that's fine. But when it gets too much, you start mixing up where you are, what tab you're working on, those kinds of things. Alright, so that's how you change our text. Working with our media. Alright, you see here, same thing, first media, second media, third media. Right now, we don't have, we need to double check. I'm not sure that we have imported media into After Effects the same way that you would have to import media into Premiere. So let's check. We see here that the only images that we have right now is this logo. Yeah, and I don't see any other media that's already imported, ready for us to work with. So I am going to right click in this area here, find my import, and I want to find my media, the stuff that I want to work with. So I got my files here. So because we know where our stuff is, because we imported everything and placed it already in our folders, we know that I'm gonna start out on the desktop. I'm gonna go to my folder, I'm gonna go to After Effects, I'm gonna go to raw footage, I'm gonna go to my business slide footage, and now you've got, and I'm gonna make this bigger so I can see all that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 images, and I've got a video. So I can bring in these one by one,
I just have the
or I
question.
can bring them all in. I'll do these first 4 together first, since you got some stuff here that I don't wanna pull in.
I just have a question. Did you right-click images, or where did you click just to,
So you
get
can
the
just
import?
click the images
No, to get the actual
Right here.
import. So, okay.
and you
So-
cancel.
Yeah, let's just do one more
So
time.
you're in the project folder,
Yes,
and you right click,
import,
import.
okay.
Alright, so I'm in my folder now. You can do these one at a time. You can do them all at once. That's a bunch of stuff there.
So you want all of those?
We'll just do all of them for now.
Okay.
I'll click open. And now you see that you've got all these different images. I'll double click so you can see what each one looks like. These are my images. You'll see that it has a logo AI, which is vector art. We already have a logo that we checked for here in, where is it? Where's that folder? Here already placed. That's not it. oh, inside images, we've got this image here, the logo, it's a ping file. So because we have this ping file already here, I'm going to delete this logo.ai. This is a Adobe Illustrator. I'm just gonna delete it.
I'm
Now,
lost.
all of these that we just brought in, we should be organized. We should create our own folder and put our own, we'll just call this raw footage for now. This is all the raw footage that we brought in. And then we can place these images inside our own raw footage folder.
I'm a little lost. I'll get my images in. So I'm a little lost.
What are you lost on?
So it says like import file, multiple files from library, import Adobe Premiere project, vanishing point, placeholder, and
So
solid.
start with, are you trying to import, is what you're saying?
Yeah, the import
So when you
the,
import, start with the desktop and then find your folder.
so,
I'll come over there in a second.
yeah, I'm like, okay. I think it imported my whole entire folder, like the whole entire folder here, but I don't know if I can delete this. It imported, I think when I was clicking
Whenever you
on it-
do something that you didn't wanna do, you should.
Yeah, I can't, like.
You should undo, but it's not letting you undo.
Mm-mm.
Alright, so this folder here is what you imported,
Yeah,
just delete it.
okay.
So anything else you imported? Alright, so when you import, right click, import, file, start with the desktop, and then is this your folder? Then that, then After Effects, then raw footage,
It's in my business, yeah, it's in that one. I don't know why.
footage, and then these is all your footage, right here.
Okay,
So you then, hit shift, select that, and then you bring in everything.
okay, and then you said to make a folder?
And then you brought in your stuff. Now, this is how I work. I always like to put everything in a folder. You don't have to. You can decide if you want to just leave everything, out here, because it's really, this is all we're gonna be working with. But for me, I created another folder called raw footage, and I put the images in the raw footage. That's just what I did. I could also put these images in the images folder, and that would totally work too. And then you see here I have a music file here that we imported as well. So, we can leave that alone. We've got a video, a file that we imported. Point is, we got everything imported into the project. We want it as organized as we can. All right, so back to our main composition down here. We want to place our assets, video, like a photo or video here. So it says here, edit your media here. You can see it over here. We'll go ahead and open up that folder and you'll see first media. Double click it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Whoa.
When you double click it, you'll see that what has been done for us right now is, you'll see that this layer, that's what I was looking for before. This layer is has already been created. There's something on this layer here, and it says first photo or video. That was actually created and placed there in this first media folder. Now, we can do one of two things. We can leave that for now, and we can go to we can open up I put my images in raw footage. We can grab this image, the first one, image number 1,
Let's try it.
grab it, and then we're gonna pull that image down into the layer. So you can put it above, you see that I haven't let go yet, and I can place the image underneath that layer or above this layer. If we wanna be able to see it, we need to place it above this layer. And when we do that, now we've placed that image, and now we see that image in that layer instead of this. This is still here. Now notice over here, if you guys remember the eyeball, this is our visibility over here in this corner. If we wanted to not see this top layer, we could do that, and then it would reveal this second layer. If we toggle this eyeball off here, then it's just gonna be black. We don't see anything, even though they both are there. So we want to make sure that we have the eyeball on. Now, it's up to you. This is gonna be, now that we place this, we check it over here in the main comp, and then we'll update, and now you see that that image is there in the main composition.
Yes.
And it's gonna be there no matter what. We don't need this replacement, this temporary layer here, so we can delete it if we want. You know, I can select it and then hit delete. And now the only layer that's in this first media bucket is the image that we just selected.
So just delete it completely?
I deleted that layer. I would recommend that you do, but you don't have to.
And you right clicked it?
You just select it and hit delete.
Oh, I just hit.
Alright. So, let's do this with the second one. Alright, so we know in the main comp that this is here. We got that now. Let's just do the second one just to do it. So we'll go back. We wanna do a second, we wanna first move our playhead on the timeline to the second photo or video. Now we see that's there. We'll go ahead and open up second media. And now we'll take our second image, grab it, place it on top there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this placeholder so that that's the only thing that's there. So now we got that. Alright. So we go back to, we always check our main composition. This is that second picture, and we see that it's there. Alright, so now let's change, since we've got a couple things here, a couple pics here, now let's actually change this text to something that we think is a little bit more relevant. Because right now the text has got my name on it, that's not me. So let's change the text. So let's go back to edit your text. First text, I'm already there. And let's just change that. We can change that to anything that you want. I'm double clicking. I am selecting the actual layer, which is there. I'm selecting it here. And let's say, I'll just say something like night out. Because it looks like they were having a good time there. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not night out.
I don't know how you.
Why did I get
Just
that?
do business like interview or something, or
So,
work or
yeah,
service
instead,
or hotel service.
Insight into his
There you go. Hotel
Okay,
service.
I won a night out, that's what's happening, I won a night out.
Lovely.
Today's Tuesday.
Can we make it all in capital? Does it like really matter?
It can be whatever you want. Alright, so instead,
That's awesome.
project review. Let's try that.
Why not?
Alright, so yeah, this looks like they're reviewing a project. So there you go. And so let's change the second one to, let's see what I've come up with here. First, I'm gonna go to the second text, select it. Alright. And for now, more info. How about that? Go back to my main comp, more info. Whatever I want to put it here. You guys can put it wherever you want.
I just want to make
So
it.
now we're creating, using this template, we're actually creating something that has relevance here. We found the photos, we got those in for now. And then we're changing the text to whatever we feel like we should do. So,
So I have a question. It says refresh disabled release caps lock. So does that mean anything?
if you have caps lock on, then you need to release a caps lock.
It's off. So
Alright.
just don't know. I guess.
Alright, so for the next two, I want you guys to go ahead and just do those next two. Do the photo and the text for those next two placeholders. So I'll go ahead and do those two.
Anything right there. So. I don't even know. Let me see the third image. Okay. Okay, let's do the fourth also. Bless you.
Bless you.
There's no fifth photo, correct? Like,
Right, but there is a video, and that's why we're gonna get to the video, because there's a way to handle video that I need to show you guys. But for right now, I just want you guys to do the first 4, pictures, still frames and text. Just going around, questions.
it just looks really cool. You created them? Exactly. You could have found a cool template. But now you know, and I'm gonna show you guys those kind of good templates and everything. That's good too, because you know, you're learning how to Yes.
do something when you create it like that.
This is actually not bad. This is probably better than Premiere.
Is that you good? Alright, looks like, yes, Jim.
I had the same problem Gordon had, that wasn't,
Say again?
yeah, it was.
So, okay, wait, so go back to your main comp. Okay, and then you were going to, you wanna see your 4th, right?
Yeah.
So you move this to your 4th so that you can actually see it. Keep going to the right till you see it, no, right to the right, keep going. So it looks like you may have deleted it. Yeah, so there it is, there. Now go back to your 4th text. And then click on it. And then, yeah, double click there to do whatever you want. And you've got, it's funny, you've got 2 there, so let's see. Let's go back to your main one. So when you go, don't do that. When you go back to your main, go to it over here. And so this, okay, there it is. So you see why you didn't see it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what I have. So this is correct. The hotel service, blah, 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 information, blah, 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 business meeting, blah, 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 conversations.
Yeah.
See, this is so much better than Premiere. Just a tad bit.
All right.
Just a tad.
All right. So yours are actually pretty big.
As far as,
No, you did. I thought one was bigger.
oh,
than
you're
the
talking
big.
about the text, it might,
So that one's iffy.
yeah, let's.
You would do it, I would like, wanna make it a little bit smaller and make sure it's in there. All right. So the 5th one is video. Now, here's the thing. We can place video in all of these. You know, right now, we're just only finding one to place video. So, how you work with video, it's the same thing. Now notice down here, remember what I told you guys about getting lost with so many? Right now, I've got, you know, maybe down here in the timeline, I've got maybe, 8, something like that. I don't like all these down here, so I'm closing these so that I can always be organized. And I won't have so many down here to work with unnecessarily, because it can throw you off big time. So I went through and I closed all those tabs, and now I've just got my main composition again, down on the bottom. And now I'm gonna take us all the way to the 5th text and the 5th photo video. So this is where I am now, it's still blank, nothing here. So we wanna put something there. I'm gonna go to my edit your media here, I'm gonna select the 5th media, double click it. And now, instead of the images which we have, I'm gonna see video 1 that we imported, let's put that in there instead. So we put that in the same way, drag it down, up top. so now I have video.
Okay.
Now, we can go back to our main comp, it'll populate with the video, and then when we play this, and this may take a little bit longer depending on when we do, I'm just gonna hit play, see how long it takes to render my video. Yeah, it's trying to render everything at full resolution. You can see my little red thing here is trying to go through kind of frame by frame. It can take its time. I want you guys to do that and see how long it takes. Let's see if it takes yours as long as it's taking mine. As you can see, mine is just going frame by frame as it
It
tries
says-
to render.
Oh, yeah, I can see the.
Yeah, it's slowly.
It's just slow.
I'm just gonna wait maybe a minute here, 30 seconds. Let's see how long this takes.
So there's supposed to be a little red bar. Oh, well, it's green.
So does it usually always start at the pointer and work its way out?
Yes. It's wherever you
Oh.
wanna play forward. So right now, this is
Rendering.
taking mine too long for me. I don't like it. So I'm gonna hit the space bar, and now for this little part, at least this part is rendered in the green. So you're starting to see it there, but then it gets to this portion and it's just not rendered. So if I want to be able to see this, which I do, I'm going back over here. Remember I told you your resolution, which is here. Right now it's set for auto, for full. I'm gonna bring mine all the way down to a quarter so that I can see this rendered a little bit faster. So now you see it's actually rendering my green. It's bringing this all the way.
Oh, it took so slow, but it's working.
Yeah. Alright, and it's gonna take me all the way to the end here,
Okay.
and then it'll play it once you do that. Oh, it's starting all the way from the
Yeah, I was gonna
beginning.
say, can we start from the
Yeah.
beginning and then
You
go for
could.
it?
You could, but I just wanted us to see this part. So
Oh,
here,
that's
we
better.
see,
Let's go with
we're
this
seeing
one.
that it's playing this video, and we're seeing that the actual area, the part of the video, like this, this frame that's been created is only up here, or let's see here, about there, so it's almost 13 seconds. It only lasts from here until here. So it's only up for a little over 3 seconds. So this is the part of the video that it's showing. However, we can control what we want to see in this frame that's been created by going to our video layer, double clicking on the fifth media. Here it is. And if we were to, if we were to actually scroll through this, the actual video file itself, we see that there's a lot to this video. So far, there's only, this part is what we've seen.
Cool.
But, you know, we got people coming up, shaking hands behind them, and then they say a couple words, and then they actually head out. What if we wanted to show that part instead of the part that we have right here? How do we do that? We do that by, okay, so this is the beginning of the video that we see here at the beginning.
Right.
We place our playhead at the beginning at all times. And then we actually grab the video file itself over on the timeline, and we move it to our left or our right. And let's say I wanted to, let's say right here, let's say I want to get them
Oh,
shaking
there we go.
hands. Let's do that. So now, at the very beginning of the timeline, we've placed the video and we've moved it so that it will start playing here instead of where it was before. So we go back to our main comp, we go back to that, and we can confirm that. I'll go ahead and hit play, and you see that that's the part that we see now.
So cool. Takes forever to render though.
Yeah, so that's rendered though. So now,
Yeah, let's just go from the beginning.
alright, so I'll stop there. So that's how we have pinpointed exactly what part of a video we want to be seen for this template. And really, that's how you work with video, in After Effects, no matter what, that's how we work with it, when you are placing it as part of your composition. So with photos, that's still framed. So that's, no matter what, you throw that on, you're gonna see what you see. With video, you can choose what part of the video that you wanna see. And you do that by going to the actual media and just grabbing it. And make sure that make sure that this is at the beginning, so that it starts where, at the beginning on your composition. If I wanted instead for it to be here, where they were talking about, what they're seeing here, that looks like a menu. I don't know if that, when I'm looking at that, that's like a menu now.
Oh, I have for
But,
teleservice, I'm like, whatever.
Let's see. I can
Do you
go-
insert, like, I guess the video twice then?
No.
Dang. That sucks.
So now I got that part. And so whatever part you want to put there, you can place there.
That was a
Okay.
big whoosh.
So just remember, like a key point to remember here is that when you're placing your video, or really when you're placing anything, and you want to be able to see what it looks like on the main comp, that you have your main composition at a resolution where it makes it easy for you to be able to just check it. And so down here, I've got it at quarter resolution. If I wanted to be able to see this at full resolution again, I could go to full, or I could go back to auto, which is gonna put it at full. And if I wanted to see it with a clean, full resolution, I would still have to, I would just hit the space bar to play, and it would go into my preview mode. And it would just take however long it takes to give us a full resolution preview, alright? Let's see, I'm gonna put it back to quarter resolution, just so that I can work with it really fast. Okay, about this, composition also, when we play it through, we'll see that there's a portion here on my main comp. Right now, yeah, my computer's
something
slowing
funny.
down. Alright, so there's a portion here that we don't have. You see that there is something missing in this comp that it's looking for. And if we look at this, we can kind of take a look and see that it's a flare, because when we look down here, we see that there's supposed to be a flare here, but there's not. Because this flare isn't here and it's messing up our composition, we can simply remove that, take that eye off of that, toggle the visibility of that off, so that it doesn't even try to give us the flare. So I want everybody to do that for this, because there's a flare, which is basically like it's a transition effect that they added, but we don't have it. And so let's not worry about it. Instead, we'll just go there. And they did it with, they timed the flare to go with that whoosh sound. There's supposed to be a flare there, but we're not gonna sweat it. So we toggle that flare off, and we've got the logo right here. Alright. This logo, if we wanted to change it, I'm not gonna say that you do, but as you see here, edit your logo here. If we wanted to put another logo there, we would double click. This is the logo that's currently there. We can go in and change this logo. But I don't want you guys to change this logo here. Now, later on the assignment, I'm gonna leave it up to you if you wanna change out the logo or not. And I'll talk about what the assignment is. But this is their effects logo, you can leave it there. Okay, the last thing. Let's see, do I wanna deal with that now? Yeah, I think I might as well show you guys. Alright, last thing is our music. Alright, so I'm down here, I don't want this stuff there, so I'm closing down that, back to my main composition. Let's see, so I've gone through, and I've gotten the video where I want. We have a, let's see here, we've got a folder here that allows us to be able to edit our audio. So we can go to our audio and we can see that there's nothing there right now. So we double clicked on the audio, we're not hearing any music, but we've got a music file here, this one here. So let's put that piece of music down here and just see what that sounds like. So I'm gonna add that down. So now we've got it here. And if I hit play, alright, so that's the music that came with this template. I put that in the audio folder, the same way that we put everything else in. And we can go back to our main comp. And I've got mine on quarter, so it should actually play. I'm gonna play it. So the
Is
reason
something
why-
funny?
The reason
No.
why it's playing slow is because it's trying to play it
Render?
at the same time it's rendering it. So,
So does it have to render first and then actually play? I guess
no, we'll
so.
just listen to it slow. Sounds horrible.
Well, yeah, for now. The beats like are like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
like
good,
really,
except
really,
it's
really
just
bad.
the beat is just really like off. Just, it's there, but
It's just slow.
it's just slow.
So now that it's rendered, oh, I didn't add that text there, but you guys know how to do that.
Can we
So.
do that again?
There. So this is how we add music to our compositions. All right, was everybody able to add music?
Yeah, but I lost my like fifth text. So when I clicked on it, my text is not there in the little white box.
So you know how to go to do that, right? You go to the main composition,
Okay.
you pull the blue arrow over to the fifth composition, and then you go back to your fifth text, double click it.
Where is my text? I clicked on it. I'm like, where's the text? Unless I didn't drag it down.
Go back to your main comp.
Okay.
So there's nothing there. That's why you don't see anything there. So you go double click your text.
This one.
Now, just because you don't see anything there, that's because there's nothing there. You make sure that you select the. Oh, you deleted it. You deleted that little text. You deleted the text that was actually present there.
Okay, so
So you need to get that back. You can. No. Yeah, undo. Yeah,
Yeah.
you cleared it.
okay. Whoops.
So just hit undo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a question. And it's too big. Dang it.
Yeah, so that's there, go back to that spot, okay, so we're looking at the composition and we see that it's trying to play something that's not there. When we look on to here, we see that it's trying to do that flare. Over here, you can toggle visibility on and off, so we just toggle it off, and I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Alright, everybody caught up, music, here we go.
Yeah. Am I so serious? Yeah.
Alright, you guys good?
Yeah, it was like fun.
Seriously? I got a hard one. Alright.
Oh my god, it is slow. It's still rendering. Jeez.
Yeah, it should render depending on your resolution. Like I have mine on quarter, so it's gonna be fast for me.
Oh,
Your
okay.
full resolution is gonna take a long time. And that's just for playing. Alright, so now that we have, whatever you've done
Yeah.
here, and I'll go in and change my I'll just leave my fifth text. So now that you've done this, it's about exporting what you have here out into the, into a finished file. And so, because we've created this, we see what it looks like, you know, this is for us, it's just a test right now, but we've made it from beginning to end. And you'll see that the beginning of our work area is indicated by this little blue handle, you could say, on the top of your timeline, just underneath the numbers. You'll see that little blue area, that's your work area start. Like if you hover your mouse over that, it'll tell you that's your work area start. If you hover your mouse over at the end of it, it'll say work area end. That's your working area that has been done for you. You don't need to change any of this, but that's been created for you when this template was made. So when you export this, it's gonna export your entire work area. Nothing more, just the work area. So you place your cursor at the beginning, and now we wanna export this. Now this is gonna be one of the, it's gonna be one of the main differences. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my resolution is back to full. When you export, you're gonna wanna do that. Full, if it's on auto and it still gives you the full, that's fine, as long as you have full resolution. Alright, so now we're gonna go to File, we're gonna go to Export. And now we wanna we're gonna export, let's see here. We're gonna always export, or at least I'm gonna show you guys how to export with Media Encoder.
It's not fun. It takes forever.
Well, they both take forever.
Ugh.
And
It took like 2 hours for one project just to get encoded.
so I'm gonna show you this one. Add to Adobe Media Encoder queue. Go ahead and press that. And it's gonna open up the Media Encoder app. We're gonna wait for it to do it.
Which
It's gonna
takes,
take a little bit of time, and it's actually sending this project over to Media Encoder so that it can export this out. Now the thing about After Effects is that when it's creating its final project file, it has to write everything that's on this timeline. It's not just rendering at this point, it's actually writing all the information. And when you have a project like this, or really any of them, where there's tons of layers, that's gonna take time. So it's
yes.
not exporting the way that you might expect exporting for Premiere, With Premiere, it's usually just one video timeline, it's rendered,
Mhm.
and you can get that out, and it renders that out. That's why it's faster for Premiere. For After Effects, it's trying to write dozens of layers, so that's naturally gonna take more time. So with these new computers, I say new because this is the first semester we've had these M1s. We're gonna see how long it takes for the M1s to export a full 30-second, a full resolution 30-second file with about 50 layers here.
Is that 50?
Yeah, it's like 48 layers, whatever it is. All right, so you see now that Media Encoder here has been, is open. And just like everything else, you can select all these different little areas here that you want to go in and influence. Our actual file is right here that we want to export.
Yeah.
And you see here that we've got match source high bit rate. That's what you want. Match the source. Our source is and it's gonna tell us if we hover over it, okay, it's telling us what it's gonna do. The target is a 10 megabyte per second file. Just so you know, in HD, a standard HD file that you would see on the internet that you would stream, like standard HD, 1920 by 1080 file at proper resolution, roughly it's gonna play well and look well at about 6 megabytes per second, 6 megabits per second. This is at 10 when we hover over it. So that means this is gonna be a good looking file if it exports to this, and so that's what you want. Now, if we were to go in and change this
Yeah, I have
to
to do
something
that.
like 6, we could, and it would probably give us a slightly faster. But since we're matching the source, that's fine. So now the output, we want to be able to see where this is gonna go. So go ahead and click on that, the output file, and you see here, there's a name here, 01 main comp. If you want, you can change that to something like main composition test, since we've done this in class. And don't hit enter yet. I always put mine on the desktop first, so I know where it is and where I can move it if I want it. You can leave the file format the same. I changed my folder to the desktop, and then I click save. So now I know that my expectation is a match source high bitrate file. I know where it's gonna go. I gave it its name already. And, okay, and there you go. Alright, so then when you're ready for it to actually start, you will hit this little green arrow up here in the upper corner, start the queue.
It's so much fun.
And so now, let's see, this should be a full frame export, so I'm gonna see how long it takes.
For Frank's class, it took 2 hours just to go.
You
Or not
can-
Frank's, Thomas's class. It
Alright,
was
so this
insane.
is a 30-second file,
Yes, it's going.
and
It's going.
it's going pretty fast here. It's giving me a remaining estimate of 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It may be faster than that from how it's going here. I don't know if it's gonna take 4 minutes.
It's, I think, just depending, I guess, on the
Yeah,
file.
skipping some seconds.
Yeah, it's like 3:53, then 4:06, and then whatever. And
So,
Whatever.
because it doesn't look like it's gonna take a long time, I'm gonna go ahead and let this export out.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I was scrolling and just trying to.
Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so when you try to export, make sure that you are here. Grab this one, and then I'm gonna put mine all the way to the end.
Good idea.
And make sure this exports, and then if you export it Yep, yep.
In the middle. it still says 440.
Because I want you to have, you know what, I'm gonna show you that too, real quick, and then I need to show the whole classes, so that when you guys are exporting. So are you trying to export it not yet? Okay, so you're here, you wanna click that, and you wanna tell it where to save it. And normally that's gonna be desktop, and you can change the name if you want. No, just desktop. But where, just place it wherever you want, you know it's gonna be. That's what you really do. Yeah, you call this a test, and that's all this is.
I just don't know why the door never opens. It's just locked.
Hmm?
It's just locked all the time. So I pressed it.
And then,
The handicap one. I don't know. Oh well. Gordon, this was a little bit easier than Premiere, just a tad bit.
I need to read this thing, replace it, the way it is supposed to.
Some people, it's gonna
Click on the one you wanna delete.
but others it won't, and I'm gonna show you what to do if it takes forever.
And, yeah, and then once you get it highlighted, just hit delete.
So I'm looking at mine right now, yeah, that might be a while, so I was gonna wait.
Took me a couple minutes.
Yeah,
to
mine
figure
is
that
4
out,
minutes
so
and 38, which
there's
is
got a
fine.
delete button here, but no
Mine is
on
giving me
any other
3
thing.
minutes.
Yeah, you can always hit the delete there.
I have
Alright,
4, so
I'm
it's
gonna
okay.
go ahead and wait these 3 minutes.
I know.
So guys, if you wanna, take, take a short break, you can.
Take 5.
Yeah, I did 5.
That'll get us back going. When we come back, what I wanna show you is how to change the resolution to a smaller resolution in case, like, the full resolution takes forever on whatever computer you have. So, I need to see that, because when you turn stuff in After Effects, especially future projects, they may be really, really, like, big projects, that may take a while, and I don't need to see the full resolution. I can take it like half resolution and some other things. Because for me, I just need to be able to see that you've done the work, and not worry about the final output file. So with mine, it's telling me, mine is hanging up. Let's see.
That's a lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah, mine is hanging up at 3 minutes. If mine hangs up for a little bit longer, I'm gonna cancel mine. And then go ahead and show you the way to make it even smaller.
So unlike Premiere, this one, you don't ever have to worry about rendering, cause it will do it whenever you stop working. It seems like it won't
No, it won't.
automatically does it.
It'll only render, no. You don't have to worry about rendering because it's only going to render a preview when you ask for it.
Okay.
It's called a render preview, and you have to want to see the render preview,
Okay.
in order for it to give you that. And
I
that's
saw
all
that
it
in
is.
there. Like you just hit that and it gives it to you.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, but yeah.
Right. So it just works differently.
It works differently.
Cause this is definitely all new stuff right here.
Yeah, it's definitely different, no doubt about it.
So yeah, I can see you definitely wanna make sure you get your project exactly the way you want it before you
Yeah,
start.
oh
this
yeah,
part.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Or it could be a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, having this,
Don't wait till the last minute to do your homework.
That-
Well,
say
you
that all the
know,
time.
this is why I edit early now for Inside Swoop. We record today and then Thursday just takes forever. I turned it in at 11:44, I was still here. And it's just like, cause I did an interview and it said 2 hours and I was like, I'm not waiting for 2 hours for this to load.
So I take it you're never really gonna do, well, I don't know, I guess maybe, what's the biggest project you would do in After Effects?
You can do some big projects in After Effects.
I'm talking about in the longer, yeah, wow, 'cause that's a lot for that little bitty 30 seconds worth of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yes. This was kind of a little bit fun. It's not bad.
mine is saying 2 minutes.
Mine is saying 3.
So that's the other thing.
It's like a tag team.
It's, I don't think that,
Oh, what's it?
No, I think it's like depending on the RAM too, on the computer, cause I don't know, but I mean, it's fine though. I like this because we can all change the text to all these like different colors. And I was like, okay, for now. So we're gonna have some similar project like this. That's kind of cool. That's good. Be here invite. Oh, after.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go back to the main one. Over there.
Yours is
Oh,
going. I
yeah,
have
okay,
2
so
minutes and
let's go
32.
back here.
No.
There you go.
And
See how you're
also,
in
so
here,
going
and
on a trip with
you're
the
out.
girls weekend,
Um,
and they
go
made a mandatory meeting at
inside.
6:30 tonight with the trip. So I was like, told Luca, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do
Yeah, where'd
lecture,
you
but
want
I'll
that?
be there, cause like, it's my week, cause I did for like the presentation.
Okay, that's what, I think that might be what it is, if you don't have an out.
But I might have
I
to
think it
leave
just
early
prints like the first frame, so if you don't have an out point, you export, it only give you like a second, right? Cause that's what he's getting over here, I think he's missing his out point.
you should
You
always
might wanna come
have
and check it out.
a workspace. The
Oh
workspace
my god.
is always going to be present. So,
So when he exports, he gets a second video, that's it.
I'm gonna take a look right here. So that's, yeah, you see your workspace here? You don't have, you somehow accidentally, let me grab this. You accidentally moved the workspace,
There it is.
right?
They're right next to each other.
Exactly.
So it was doing exactly what you were telling it to do. For me that first second.
You can make that darker if you want, but I just need it brighter to be able to see.
It would be something sensitive.
So are we sending this to you or we're gonna do something?
This is just an example, you're not sitting
I
this
knew what
to
it was doing, I just couldn't see that they were both next to each other.
Yeah.
One minute.
I have 1:39. It's all good. It's going at least. At least we know it's working.
Man, don't misspell nothing or nothing, boy. That's right. Ah, there we go. The last, like, made it mad dash at the last second.
Yeah, the last stuff should be pretty easy, because it's not a whole lot that it has to write, you know?
Yeah.
Once it gets past the video, then it should be pretty quick.
I just don't know why it imported the whole editing folder. I don't know. Maybe I just hit that by accident before hitting the actual footage part. Oh well. So just right click normally and, delete it.
I don't know what you're asking.
Oh, since you had seen that my folder, my editing folder was, in my After Effects, so we had to delete it, so I can just right click all the time, or click on it and delete it.
Are you asking about something that we've already done? Is that what's happening?
No, I could just delete the folder if I don't want it.
Yeah. Alright, so mine is done.
Mine is almost done. Wait.
Okay, so what I wanna do is just show everybody the full version here. When yours completes, it should be the exact same thing.
I'm just gonna put the volume off.
Seriously right now.
Oh, 23 seconds. That's one.
So I saved mine on the desktop, so I can put it wherever I want. If I hit the space bar, it'll play it.
Oh, there has to be, okay, yeah.
Alright, so that's the full text version.
I was just like, let's go.
Alright, so that's the full text version. Now, what's gonna happen is, when you're either here or at home or wherever, you may try to export and for whatever reason, the full text, the full resolution, full file may be just too much, so it's gonna take too long. So I'm gonna export and I'm gonna show you, when you try to export, make sure that you have the timeline selected, the main composition selected. Alright, main composition, then you export. I'm gonna send it to the encoder queue. And here, we're gonna change it, it's over here, we've already exported the first one. We're gonna change our preset from the mat source high bitrate to something, so the format, we'll still leave it at 8.264, but instead, we wanna change this from the high bitrate to something that's gonna be, I'll go ahead and tell you guys. So if you're recording, or if you're writing this down, or if you wanna take a picture, go ahead and choose the high quality 720p HD. Or you know what, forget that, let's do the mobile device,
That's better.
because that's probably a little bit smaller. The mobile device 720p HD version. That's gonna be smaller by a lot. I'm gonna click OK, and it should still save it in the same place. I'll go ahead and just click it just to see where it's gonna save it. Should be desktop. Nope, it went back to where it was.
No,
So
it
I'm
went
glad
back
I
to
checked.
it, so you gotta just,
So I left the name here. I'm gonna go ahead and select the desktop so I know where it's going. I'll just put this one, mobile test. I'm not saying everybody should do it, I just
I'm
want you to see.
just gonna do it just because you have it.
And then hit save, and then I'll go ahead and do that one. And then let's see how long this says, this one. This one is starting out
Oh my gosh.
at
Mine
3
starts
minutes.
at 5. Oh, there it goes, never mind.
Yeah.
It's going down.
So but me personally, just looking at it, well, it seems like it's flying, you know. Seems like it's going pretty fast.
So this is
So
better
if
for.
it goes fast
Yeah.
enough for you,
This is much
for
better.
your system,
Yeah.
then this should maybe cut the time in half.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is telling me 2 minutes right from the beginning, where, yeah, you see how it's flying through?
So this
So
can be
something
like
this
Premiere
will be
Pro,
pretty
right?
fast.
Premiere Pro can be the same high quality 720, whatever it is. Other one.
Okay, we're gonna focus on After Effects right now.
Okay.
Alright, so this will speed
Oh,
up
it's
the
done.
render
Oh,
time
wait,
for
never
you.
mind, it's not done.
Now, I don't wanna wait, cause I wanna show you guys, it is going fast though.
It's
Maybe a
it's
little
using
bit.
all 8 gigabytes of memory.
It's going to 125 and stuff.
I'm
Like,
looking
I
at
don't
it.
wanna wait, cause I wanna show you guys some other stuff here.
But
I'll
it's
go ahead and
almost done.
cancel it.
No, it's almost done. Oh well. No. Sanctuary.
Alright, so this stopped it. This is in Media Encoder, and this is how everybody should do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and quit Media Encoder now. I might actually wanna hide After Effects to see if it created a partial file for me. I just wanna see. And see, yeah, this mobile one, instead of giving me the whole thing, it just did it from where. So you see the mobile file isn't bad looking. You know, it's not the full 1920 by 1080 resolution, but this doesn't look horrible. So for me, I'll accept this because for me, what's important is that I see your work. I'm not worried about the final file. Alright, so this is what I want to get into now, the actual assignment. So now that you know how to use the template, I'm going to, okay, so I did publish it. So when you go to it, you'll see here, this is what you'll need to do. Download 4 images, a related short video clip to those images. And I put in parentheses here, don't use the included photos and video from the template. Why? Because we've already used these, so we're not doing that. You're downloading your own. And the royalty-free music file. Use your downloaded photos, video, and music assets with the intro here, this template, to create a simple photo and video slideshow with the music track. Make the photos and videos related, and be sure to change the text elements to something relevant. Export the file, then upload it to Studio, and then share that link. Alright, so then you see here after that, repeat it. So you're gonna do 2 that are different. Alright, and so I'm saying here, you may find images with the Google search, or you can find images along with stock video here. I gave you Pixabay. You'd have to create a free, account. And so this is a place where you can do photos and video. Now the point here is simply that we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did with this, except with images that you create. They can be 4 still images of, say, popcorn, different flavors of popcorn. And then it could be a video of popcorn popping. And then you simply get creative with your titles. Title for each one of those titles underneath each one of those photos and the video. Do something creative. So, and then add your own music and you export that out. To give you an example, I'll show you what previous classes did.
I was gonna ask you how you put the video in from like online,
You download.
like from you.
But first let me just show you what other classes did, and then I'll walk you through downloading. Alright, so go to dashboard.
Oh, so it's up to us to think.
And I'll just do last
Oh
class.
my goodness.
This isn't last semester, but this is from a couple semesters ago. Alright, let's see here, modules. We'll go to 10. Go to 11. And we'll just use these as an example here. See what this person did. Alright, so you saw with them, they used just went and found dinosaurs for that first one. Let's see what this person did. So you see, all they're doing is creating this basically a short montage of related images and then video. Find some appropriate music, and you can be as creative as you want. There's all kinds of whatever floats your boat. As long as you do that and you create the video and the audio, the still photo, video, audio montage that way, and you do 2 of them, you've shown that you know how to use this template, and you've shown that you've mastered the basics for how to operate After Effects templates. For me, that's what I'm going for here. Now, there's all kinds of stuff. I can keep going with it. Just for the heck of it, I'll show you maybe one more here. Let's see. Find somebody. Alright, so that one was photography. So you see what I'm saying? It's really, you can do whatever you want. Let's see here. As long as it's executed properly.
Oh, wait.
Alright. So they chose sunset. Alright.
So how did they download the videos just at the end?
Yeah, I'm
You know,
gonna show you
that-
how now. Alright, so I'm gonna close
And
it.
then I just want to also know the elements. How did you change the exposure and whatnot for?
No,
the
you
pictures.
just find images. So for example, I use popcorn, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I go here with the link I included, and I just type in popcorn. So here you can choose any of these images that you like that fit. That's something I need to show you guys too before I let you guys go. Any of these images of popcorn, and then you'd find video of the exact same thing. So I would go, those are, look at that, 294 popcorn photos. So
Hello.
you got plenty of choices. And let's say I wanted to do video, you pick out a related popcorn. Oh. And now you've got these different videos of popcorn popping. I would have to click them here. I don't want to take the time to do that. But you choose one of these, and then there you go, like this one's popping. And then you create something that with text with each one of those, each one of those spots, and you just create it and add music, and there you go. So that's how, and you would download it. So let's say,
I'm going to download something.
yeah, I'm gonna download. So let's say I wanted to download.
Just download popcorn.
All right, so let's say I want to do this one. Click on it, and you would simply download. Now, I don't know if it's gonna let me download. Looks like it will. Yeah, it lets me download. I didn't even sign. Well, no, it's using. I do have an account. So make sure that you have an account here. Looks like it logged me in automatically there. And then when you download it, you put it in the proper folder, just like I showed you. Wait. Hide.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Wait. Download. Go to the Finder, and there's that popcorn picture that I will do. And so then you use your different popcorn photos, insert those in to the template, and there you go. Now, about the template, real quick. If you have a picture, or maybe even a video, that does not fit precisely, you need to either make it bigger or smaller. Let me go to it now. Alright, so here, remember we went with these here. And so, let me go to my main copy. Let me go. Alright, so let's say this one, the very first image. And I go to the media here. I can make this image that I brought in larger or smaller by going to this little small triangle next to the actual image itself, clicking that, and you see here it says transform, click that down. And now I can change my scale, opacity, rotation, any of this stuff. So let's say I want to change the scale here. I will click onto it, and this is letting me know that it's linked. So if I change one, like the vertical side, it'll change the horizontal side. Let's say I want this to be 150% of where it is now. All I did is I brought that figure, and I could just grab it and move it up or down. But let's say I want to see about this much of it, and let's say the position of it, the vertical position, I want it about there. Now I go back to the main comp, and it changes it so that that's what I see. So if you happen to have an image that's too big or doesn't show exactly what you want, then that's how you go in to that image and change it. So you can change the position, left or right. You can change the position up or down.
You
You can
can't just
change
grab
the
the picture,
scale.
right?
No, you can't grab the picture,
that
you gotta go
sucks.
here.
Okay.
You know, so let's say I want just a close-up of her looking. I could do that. I could do that. Now I've just got a close-up of her looking. I'll go back to the main comp, and that's what it's gonna show me. So you have the ability to influence the photo once you've taken it and placed it in the placeholder. Alright, you know, if you wanna play around with it, you could also change the rotation.
I'm good.
Yeah, so you can change different things. Okay, alright, so that's what your assignment is. Just be creative. Pick 4 videos, 4 photos, 1 video of the subject,
Same for the second
and
one.
then create your text accordingly.
So are we doing two different ones, or is this first one that we did in class, like our first one, and then this is just the second one?
2 different ones.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So
So,
you guys hear that? You guys are
Yeah.
doing 2 completely different ones.
Mhm.
The one we did in class was just an example to show everybody how to do it. Yeah.
so I have a question. So I hit download, and then it says, by downloading, you agree to our license. Does this mean like I don't know.
Well, did you log in?
No, I don't have an account. I guess when I have an account, I can download it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to create an account.
Okay, so basically 4 pictures, maybe somebody picking up the popcorn, dropping it at the movies or something, and then it actually moving at the end.
Yeah.
And then one other question, do we just use our other one we created from? Yeah, do we just make another one with this, like
Yeah, you
duplicate
too.
it?
Yeah, make a new one.
Just duplicate it? Since this
No,
one is.
just open it, don't duplicate it, double click it, open it, a new one. It's gonna create a whole new one. And then you go from there, you can save it how you want.
So,
It's really either or, you can create a
didn't
new
know about
one, you can duplicate that one and delete the stuff, it's like your choice.
oh, wait, if I open it, it'll be the same project, right? Let's see. I don't think I wrote it down.
So it's already a video now, so hide this so you can see your actual video, you know when you save it. mobile 720p.
I'm just gonna say
Like
with
if
pump.
you go where it says max version,
Let's see.
so like that, and then it's gonna then bring you open up those, dialog boxes. You want 8.264, and then the very next one, so let's see, okay, so now I'm gonna do Correct.
Wait, how do I release it?
So no, you don't wanna, so you wanna go with what you got, right? And instead, make sure you save this. Right. So you save it, and you can, instead of duplicating the timeline, duplicate the file. So go here, to timeline, and then, save as. And then save as, and now, save this one as a different title, so that it can be like, part one, part two, whatever you do, and then we'll begin working on this one instead. Okay, you wanna put it there? I am ready.
So sorry.
Crazy name. So now you're working on this one, and then when you're ready to do the next one, yeah. Right. Oh, this is stuff you did there? Okay.
So I have a question then. How did you get it? I know I want to do it again, but how did you get the converted part? So if I get out of this, and then this was the original. So this was the, okay, the other one was the original.
So now save this to whatever you want.
Okay, yeah, because this was my original, so just save it as normal.
The one that you just opened up.
Yeah.
Save that and give that a different name. So that you know what it is.
Then I'll just say whatever project
Whatever name you want.
for now, and then I can rename it later.
Hey, just, yeah, you can always rename it or save as, but,
Okay, so
Don't
I'll be
confuse
working with this
yourself.
one then.
like, as long as you know which one you're working with.
Mhm.
So now here's the thing, you guys can stay in here as long as you want, or at least all the way till maybe 4 or something, because the class that normally comes in here at 1:40, you guys saw that note where they're gonna do online. So that means no one's gonna be in here, so you don't have to rush out at 1:30 like previously, if you just know you wanna get everything done, you know, now, or not work on it later, so it's kinda up to you guys. Yep.
Did you want us to delete the logo, is that what you said? Or just leave it?
You mean the no, leave the logo, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Leave
So,
it as is.
I was giving you the option, if you wanted to download another logo and just use another logo in place of that, you can, but you don't have to. But definitely leave the logo, if you're not gonna do that, just leave the one that's there.
Okay, and then export it at a smaller.
Yeah, it'll be faster, yeah, if you go with the 720p mobile one,
Okay.
then that'll be faster.
Oh, so keep the she said asking to keep the logo.
Yeah. Keep the logo.
So now can I get through? So it's just better to use videos from this site.
You can get videos or photos from anywhere. This is just one site. There's stock footage sites everywhere for free stock footage.
Actually, Adobe has stuff,
I don't know if it's free, but yeah, Adobe has stock footage too.
For example, if you're like get a cat picture, we can like name it like the cat's name,
You
like
could-
Bob. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Good to go. Catch you later.
Oh, they're so cute. So cute. Any name. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. See you later.
Oh, wait, I had a question.
Yeah.
I was planning classes for next semester, and it said we were teaching a class on documentary fundamentals. What would the class entail?
You learn how to actually produce documentaries.
Okay,
Like,
like,
it's everything involved in short documentaries. You learn about different kinds of first documentaries and you produce different kinds.
Okay, so we're like gonna be filming stuff, it's not just like writing and
Correct.
scripting, okay.
Filming,
Okay.
filming a lot too. Like that's a number of different kinds of documentaries that you produce,
Okay,
but they're all short.
okay, alright, thank you.
Try to see what's going on with this computer.
Did you guys put it into a different outlet or the same one?
Cause it's the same as the rest that are being used, right? Yeah. Strange, right?
I put it into the main right now. I'm starting to think. So I'm not gonna lie.
I might actually have to.
And I would never show back up if I were you guys. I have to go. I'm going to Chicago and New Jersey. I get lost.
That's just who's gonna be older on Premiere Pro. By Adobe.
Okay, so we have that, I'll let Kim
You know what's
What do
crazy?
you wanna see on CPA?
today, I'm ready
I
today.
wanna see a reaction on that.
Record it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But now this one, I can't get the music on this thing, but.
What in the
Yeah,
world?
something like that, like
Someone's
that's
just having
the-
fun.
Right, exactly. Which face? No, literally, I don't understand how this stuff, but like, it's not like exciting.
He's got to come in, so we gotta.
Well, it's just the fact that it's not even like moving.
But it sounds so.
by my senior.
We're technical junior, girl. No, senior.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with Safari?
It's just not having fun. That is so funny. Mhm. So,
Dude, no.
Like it's hard. So I think I know what's gonna, at some point, like when you finish this, power it down and start with these M1s, these chips, seriously. When RAM, overload, exactly, they start doing the really, really good things. Yeah, probably it's all even now.
Am I the only one
Overrammed it,
using RAM? How about?
overrammed it.
I need to go to class, actually. Oh, yeah. Yeah, class.
Save your stuff, make sure your stuff is properly saved. Oh,
That
okay.
would actually be nice.
Exactly.